Hi, Cyber Beauties. Well, I am a hot mess now. I think my greasy. No. Okay, just my highlight. My highlight's on point, but it's shiny. Well, welcome back. I decided to do my favorite Morphe brushes video because it's highly requested from a lot of my friends. They're like, you use a lot of Morphe brushes. Which ones do you recommend? I would just say go for the Elite line, but there are some brushes that I use that are not part of the Elite line, so I decided to do the video instead for their sake and my own as well. Now, I do have a lot of different brushes. I do a lot of things, and so I'm going to start by trying to do like face first, and then eyes, and then I don't think I have any lips, so I'll just go as I can go in order, okay? So my favorite Morphe brush to use to put on my foundation is the M439 brush. It's very dense, it buffs beautifully. I enjoy using this foundation brush a lot. It's one of my favorites. I haven't used this in a while because I've been in a beauty blender kick as well as the Artiste brush kick, but for Morphe, this is my all-time favorite foundation brush. Now, the one that comes close, well, not close second, but pretty good, is my Elite E45 brush. It's beautifully dense. It's a flat kabuki brush. It covers a lot of areas. So I use this as well if my M439 brush is dirty. I have two of them, so if they're both dirty and I want to like a light, not like a huge coverage amount, because that's like a full coverage brush. This is like a sheer coverage brush, I consider, but it's a really good brush to put foundation. So this is another one. Okay, I think there's another one that I have from the Elite line. Yes, there is. If I want it to be just as good but not so big, is the E6. So the E6 is the smaller one, and the E54 is the bigger one. But these are really good foundation brushes. But again, my all-time favorite is the M439 brush. Okay, so that's for foundation. Then I have a brush that was recommended to me by Nikki Tutorials, and it's the M444. Now this, she has a point. This applies powder beautifully. Like, you just pounce it on your skin and it just like presses it in. It doesn't make it look cakey. It just does its job and it smooths out anything else that you haven't done. I've also used this for foundation, but I feel it's like too short and dense. It doesn't do as well as the 439 for the foundation part, but if you want to do powder foundation, this is your go-to. So this is for liquid, this is for powder. So I usually use this to put my liquid foundation, this to set it with powder. Beautiful sisters. That's what I call them, the sisters. They work together. The dynamic duo. Okay, so speaking of setting powders, I like big fluffy brushes. My favorite before I found this brush was my Go Morphe brush. It's big and fluffy. It puts on the powder. This is the one I used today to set my foundation. It's gorgeous. It's just nice and big and fluffy and soft. So once I found this guy, kind of replaced this guy. They're pretty much the same. This one's rounder. This one's a little bit more domier. Same softness. I love these brushes. And this one's the E41 brush. And I love this brush. So these two are twins when it comes to setting powder foundation. This one was actually drying because I washed it. So I used this one today. I didn't use the M44 because I knew I was going to do this video. And I was like, no, don't dirty it. Leave it alone. Okay. So next is concealer. I haven't yet to find a good brush in the Elite line to do my concealer like this one does. This one, Patrick Starr recommended. I think also Nicole from Young Wild and Polished recommended. It's a beauty blender on a stick. It gets right in there. You pat it in, pat it out. It really conceals your concealer. Like it blends it out. So then Luxie told me to use the E8. The thing with this one is, for me, it looks very streaky. So my G2 brush from the Gun in the Metal line is the perfect brush for concealing under the eyes. Now I do set my under eyes with the E8. That it's good for this. And that's until I found my E48 brush. See how dirty it is? I used it today. I set my under eye with it, or I buff the bakage off of it with my Shade and Light Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is just gorgeous. It just doesn't leave any streaks. It makes everything look perfectly blended. This is just a really good brush. So the E48 for powdering your under eye. Now, if you want to use to apply bakage, I use the E49 brush. I usually just scoop up the powder. It's pretty finely, like, domed. I just pick it up. It's like a scooper, I consider it, and just pat it on, and it just places it like a beauty blender would. And then like, okay, so I place my bakage with this one if I don't have my beauty blenders clean. Okay. Next would be contour. Okay. Jaclyn Hill's favorite and mine as well, the M523 brush. I don't know if this is supposed to be for contour, but it should. If Morphe's watching this, you guys should just put this as the contouring brush of it all, because it gets right in there, gets the contour done. You just put it in there and it's like boom. I just put some more. It just does its job. See, like, it just chisels it out, and then you just buff up and it buffs it out as well. It's just a great contour brush. I used to love the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour brush. Now this is my all-time favorite contour brush. It just gets in there. It even gets in the nose, like boom. Gets on all the shading areas. It's just perfect. Okay, next for bronzing, the M527 brush. This is the bomb when it comes to bronzing. It just like packs on the color. It just buffs it out. It doesn't put on a lot of bronzer. It just does what it needs to do to get the job done. It's soft. It's finally just beautifully made. It reminds me of the MAC brush. I forgot what it's called. Looking down below if you want to compare them. This is affordable. There's also this Wave brush that reminds me of this one. But out of all my brushes that I have, and I have a lot, I have Jessup, Sigma, Artis. My favorite, I'm going to say it on camera, is Morphe. I said it. Now, Artis brushes have their own type of feel for them, and they are one of my favorites. But if I have to pick one, Morphe takes a cake. No, this isn't sponsored. I'm trying to get even an affiliate code and I can't even get one. So just letting you know. Alright. So since we're still doing contouring and stuff, I barely use this now because I got the Artis brushes, the linear ones. I use this now to do my contour, my nose. But before I got that, I used my E47 brush. I still grab it. It's still good. It's just so tiny and mildewy, just like ching. Like it just gets there. And then, and this cover, like it covers. So you have to be careful with how much you put on. These are like finely dense brushes. So you gotta be careful how much you put. I literally just like pat it down because this can put on the color. And I even sometimes put it here. Like if I wanted to do like cream contour, this is the brush I use. Okay, next is my blush brush. Everybody's favorite, I think. I'm not gonna say everybody. I don't see everybody use it. I think it's Jaclyn Hill. I think Manny uses it. Nicole Guerrero. Alright, so it's my E4 brush. My favorite of all time blush brush. I just put it on there, blend it on. It just does a really good job. I just want to do this because it feels really good. Adding more color, I think it is. I did just put on my makeup, so. But this is the best blush brush out in the market. I have Sigma brushes. I have Artis brushes that are supposed to be for blush. I even have a beauty blender. It's called the Beauty Blusher. Nothing puts on blush like this one. That's all I have to say. That's the end of it. No more speaking of it. Okay. And then of course, when that is dirty and I have to use another blush brush, I use my E3 brush. It's a tip brush. I just go ahead and just place it on. I use the side of it. And it's a really good brush, but not like the E4. Just fine. Alright, next is highlight. And then we're going to go on eye brushes. Okay. Disclaimer. I love brushes. I love what they do. When I find they're close seconds, I have to share them both. So first I used the M501. This one was my favorite highlighting brush of all time. It was like perfect, beautiful, and everything. Until I saw Jeffree Star use this one, which is the M510 brush. I consider them sisters, but this one's pointier, this one's fluffier. But for whatever reason, this one puts it on just like beautifully. I use this one today. Not this one because the other one's dirty. Didn't want to share that one on camera. But I put it on. It is gorgeous. It is the best highlighting brush, I think, compared to this one. But if I had to use one of them forever, is this one, the M510 brush. My first love was this one. We broke up. I keep going back to it, having an affair with it sometimes. But this is my favorite. My love. I don't cheat, but that was kind of funny to say. Okay. Now that I'm done with all my face brushes, going on to the eye brushes. Now, all these are Morphe brushes. I do have some brushes that I use out of Morphe, but I didn't want to include them into this video because it's the favorite Morphe brushes. So, but I use these the most, and these are my favorites. Okay, so let's go by in order how we do things. Okay, so after I put my concealer, I like to put on like a translucent shade. If I don't use my concealer brush that I put on the powder, I use this one, which is the M208 brush. This just puts on all the color just to make sure that your eye primer is set. Beautiful brush. It reminds me of my MAC 252 brush. You can see I use this a lot. But this one does the cake, does the job. Okay, the next to put on my transition shade. My all-time favorite transition shade brush. I don't even use my E40 from Sigma anymore. It's my E27 brush. This is a gorgeous transition brush. I have 3 of these. That's how much I love it. It just gets in there, puts on the transition, I go all over, and it just does a good job. I just love this brush. Okay. Then I used to use MAC 217 like everybody did until I met my M433 brush. This is MAC's twin sister, but better. And I use this to put in my crease colors. I just get in, it finally like distributes color. It's just a really good crease brush. Now, if I wanted to have a light hand to it, then I use my M441 brush. This brush gets in there as well, but it's like a light-handed brush. And so I just go in there, go in, windshield wiper motion, go in circular motions. I call it my detailer crease brush. It's a really good brush as well. One of my favorites as well. Okay, when my E27 brush is dirty, I use my E28 brush. I call it. It's a fraternal sister because it's not the same. Let me get my other brush. Where'd it go? See, this one's more domed and this one's more pointy. But if this one's dirty and drying, I use this one. And it does as good of a job as well. But the main reason I use this one is for my outer corner V. Now that packs on the color. And this is a really good brush for that as well. Okay. Then I have my shader brush. This is my E32. As you can see, I love the Elite line. And the brush is a nice shader brush. If I wanted to pack on color, not rub, just pack on color, this is the brush for you. If you want to like use dark greens or blacks, just like pack on the color, this brush will do it for you. Okay. The next one, I use this when I do halo eyes, is my E17 brush. It's similar to the E28 brush. Where is that brush? I just put it down. Sorry, I just have a lot of brushes here. There it is. See, this one's bigger, this one's smaller, so it's like its little sister. But this one gets right in here, and I go into the inner corner, and I'm able to crease it and go in the outer corner. So this one I think is more detailed than this one. So I say this is like a good transition shade dupe. But this one is good for the inner corner and the outer corner. Now, if I just want to smoke out the outer areas, I use my E18 brush. And it's denser, smaller. So I just go in there and like pack on the color up here and smoke it out. So I call this my smoke out brush. Okay. So I think that's it for the upper lid, except for the eyeliner area. So I'm torn with two of them. I haven't used it yet. I actually placed an order for it. Is the Elite eyeliner brush. Or did I already get it? Let me check. So I haven't used it yet to say that I love it yet. But this is the E38 brush. And it's for the eyeliner. I haven't used this yet, but I do use... This is for like liquid liners, like for my Tarte clay liner or my inglot liner. Not really inglot, like liquidy ones that I have to like dip my brush into. It's mostly my Tarte brush, my Tarte eyeliner, but this is the one I use. It's my M217 brush, and it's a really good brush. So I bought the Elite one, which is the E38 brush, which is similar, but this one's pointier and this one's more angled. So I haven't used this one yet. I'll let you know how I like that one, but my favorite one is the M217 brush. Okay. Again, I'm going to show you what was my favorite and now is my favorite because they're both Morphe. I love my flat definer brushes. Morphe has one that's called the M423? No, 32. M432. This gets in there, packs on the color, does well. Until Manny talked about the E43 brush, the flat definer from the Elite line. I don't know what it is. I use them both, but this one just gets in there and like packs on the color. I don't know what it is with the Elite brushes, but they just pack on color like intensified by 1,000. So I love this brush. This is now my new flat definer brush, my favorite. Okay, my favorite smoker outer inner corner brush is my E36 brush. It's the tiniest pencil brush out in the market, I think. I even have the Makeup Geek one. Makeup Geek is smaller, but it's super pointy and rough. This one, it just gets in there. It's just like, oh my god, I love this brush. And I do have the Elite pencil brush. Where is it? Trying to find it, guys. Give it a look. It's this one. See how big it is? Like, I love the E36 brush. It just gets in there. It gets in here, It buffs underneath the eye. It smokes it out beautifully. I just love this one. I really do. Wait, I think I found it. There's another one. The E37 brush. That's another pencil brush. That one's super tiny, but this one just blends out better. So either one, but this one's my favorite, the E36. Okay. And then to put on gel liners, my favorite gel eyeliner brush is the M160 116. Super tiny, super pointy. I used this one today to put my liner on. It's gorgeous. And then, because Kathleen Lights rules my world, I don't like clumpy lashes. I really don't. It drives me nuts. Then she recommended me this one, which is the B71 brush. It's the metal brush, but it's super tiny. As you can see, there's like clumps of mascara already in there. And what I do with this is I comb through my lashes and it takes out any clumpiness. Right now, it would probably take off all my lashes. Super dry. You're supposed to do it when it's wet. But it clears out any gunk that you don't want it to look clumpy. Unless you're going for the clumpy look. But it clears them out, straightens them out, makes all your lashes look individualized. It's a really good mascara comb. I love this brush. Now my lips, I do my lips with lipsticks and lip glosses and all this stuff. I don't have a specific lip brush that I use. So I will venture into probably investing in one just to try it out. But I think I do well with that one. So that is my Morphe brush collection favorites. And I do own the whole entire Elite line. No, Morphe did not send them to me. I purchased this with my hard-earned money. Plus, I am also part of the Morphe Me subscription club. So some of these they came in the subscription. Most of the M ones came in the subscriptions. But I did buy all these brushes. None of them were sent to me. I like to give a disclaimer because some people are like, you're just saying it because I send it to you. No. If I like them, I'm going to tell you I like them. If I hate them, I will tell you I hate them. Because why would I lie to you guys? I get nothing in return from lying to you guys. I don't get anything in return. It's not like I'm getting paid or sponsored to do this video. It would be nice, I'm not gonna lie. It would be awesome to get paid for this, but I don't. So don't kill the messenger. That's all I have to say about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to know what my favorite brushes of all time are, you pretty much watched the video. There's a couple of brushes that I use that I love. Now, like the Artis Oval 7 brush is a really good foundation brush. But if I had to pick between this one and the Morphe one, it's a tie right now. Because I have a love-hate relationship with this. It just depends on the foundation, I think. Like if it's like super liquidy, this is perfect. If it's creamier, the Morphe one works. So I guess it depends on the foundation. Just saying. And then that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know what else to say to you guys, but thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are watching me and you've been watching me a lot, because I see how many people watch me and they're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below. But if you don't like me, I understand. Don't hit subscribe. I always tell people if you don't like this video, don't watch it. You know, I always tell people don't get mad at us for showing off our stuff. It's not that we're showing off. It's just people ask, like, what do you use for this? What do you use for that? So I just want to oblige and show everybody what I use so they can go out and purchase. Some of these brushes, I'm not gonna lie, are out of stock right now. So if you go on the website and they're not there, don't kill me. And that's pretty much it, you know. Nothing more to say to you guys, but I love you. Thank you for all your support. Putting out oily brushes as I'm talking to you. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.